start with a new, and here I'm going to choose this metric architecture template and we will create new project. And if you were a project coordinator or BIM coordinator, so you can choose this project template and you can create a template for all the discipline team members. And you can like set all the settings like project units. You can organize the project browser. You can create a view template within this project template and set all the settings, load all the families and all that. Create a project template and share it within a CDE, that is common data environment. And BIM 360 is the common data environment uh, in this course. This is included also. We will learn about this BIM 360, how to manage all the documents within this BIM 360, how to share within all the team members, how to coordinate. So this is a common data environment, and that is the main thing to share all the information in real time with all the team members. So you can create a project template and all the team members, like all the architectural, structural, mechanical, electrical team members or modelers will use that template and they can access it from that common data environment. Uh, so let's click on OK. Okay, so I had selected a project template. Okay, so no problem with that. And here, what we can do, we can come to this view and we can create some view template. So we will learn this later. And we can define what will be included within this user interface. Okay, and let me go to this manage now. We can choose this project unit. What will be the project unit? So everyone will be using this project unit. Okay, so that here you can mention that discipline is common. Okay, so they will use like structural, electrical. They will choose also. So within this structural also you can specify. So when they will select this structural, so they will get that get those units. So they don't have to change anything. So you set every discipline units. Okay, and after that click OK. And here we have this snap also. So these are the snap points. So when you will be creating any object, this will help you to create those object at the right location, and with accuracy you can create it. So we have some snap increments and angle dimension increments. So when you will be creating some object, so with precision you can move your mouse and you can quickly get the dimension value without typing it. So these snap increments will help you to achieve your angular dimension or length dimension with your mouse. So let's click on OK. And we can create also some project parameters. Okay, so right now, no project parameters are created. So if you need any parameters to include, so here you can see all these parameters are added within this flow plans and all. Some parameters are there. So you can create a new project parameter. So that will be available within this project parameter. You can click on this add option and you can create some project parameters. And what will be the parameter, like is that a length parameter or dimensional parameter? Just a second, guys. Thank you guys. Okay, so we can create some parameters and we can include within this template file. So I will demonstrate this part later in details. So let me cancel it. Okay. So with this settings and we can include insert some external families. Okay. We can load import some CAD files if some CAD files are needed. Suppose the survey datas are needed, the CAD files for survey datas are needed. So we can go for this import CAD and we can insert this file. All right. So after that, we will be saving it as a template file. Okay, we can go for the save and this will be saved as template file. And here you can see this will be saved as template file because we had selected that as template project template. So we can save it as template right now. I'm going for cancel it. Okay. Now here you can see that within this architectural template, we have some flow plans. As per the labels, we have some flow plans, we have some elevation views. So as per these elevation cameras, we got this elevation. Okay, so these elevation cameras are placed in four main direction, that is east, north, west, and south. You can delete or remove this, and you can add some elevation cameras. So let me select and delete this. So if you delete this, the view elevation, which is created by that elevation camera, will be deleted. So right now you can see that south is deleted right now. And how you can place it. So here within this view tab, in this create panel, we have this elevation option. So go for this elevation. Okay. And here we will be placing it. All right. So it doesn't matter that it is perpendicular or parallel. So it doesn't matter. Okay, so let me just place it here. All right. And after that, right click. And now you can see that the direction is towards the left side, right? So now you can place it and then just a second, select this circle and we need to place this camera in this direction towards this direction. So I need to check this direction and then click this direction, uncheck this direction. Okay, so this view will be deleted. So that's fine. And in this direction, this camera is placed. And now we need to change this view name. Okay, so right click here and go for rename and it will be renamed as south, right? So this how all these views or elevation views are created. And we have some, let me go to the south elevation. So you can double click on the south elevation in this project browser, or else you can come to this viewport and you can right click on this double click on this elevation camera. Okay, just sorry, this will be unchecked. So select this circle. Okay, make sure you are selecting this circle, then uncheck or check, and then double click on this camera. Okay, on this arrow, double click on this arrow, and that south elevation is opened. Okay, and right now nothing is included within this view, so you cannot see anything, right? So what you can do, you can right click and zoom to fit. You click zoom to fit. Okay, so similarly go to the north view and these two elevations are included within this view. And within this view, uh, see, just a second. Yeah. Now you can see, right? All these levels are included here. Now, okay, nothing is included now. So we need to change the camera view. Okay, we need to change the camera view. The field of view, you can see this is the total area or how much it will be visible. So till now, the camera can show the view. Okay, it within this area, it will includes all the objects. Okay, so that's we are increasing up to this. It will be visible. Okay, it will include all the objects within this area. All right, so that's why we generally create our project within this four cameras. Okay, within this area, we generally create our model. Okay, so this how we generally create elevations. All right. Now you can see that everything what I create, all the views that I create. So I can go with the 3D also. So everything that I create, it it's included within this project browser, right? So these are right now sorted as per the view. Here you can see the floor plans, ceiling plans, 3D views, elevations. These are sorted as per the view. Okay, all the views are sorted as per the view name or the view category. Okay, so we can organize our project browser. So that is what needed, and that will help you to organize all the views. So we can go to this right project browser, right click and go for this browser organization. Okay, click on this view option, right click on this view option and go for this browser organization. And you can see that all the views are selected right now. You can make it as per the discipline. So the discipline wise, all the views will be organized. So select it and click on OK. And now you can see that these are organized as per the discipline, architectural coordination. So you can you can include them within structural also. So let me just go for this. And here you can see that, just a second, the discipline is set to architecture. Okay. And if I click on copy or duplicate the view, so you can go the duplicate with detailing. Okay. Or what is the meaning of duplicate and duplicate with detailing and duplicate as dependent? So duplicate means you are just duplicating the model components, okay, not the annotation components. And if you choose duplicate with detailing, so that means you are duplicating with annotation elements also. The model elements and your annotation elements will be duplicated. And if you choose duplicate as dependent, so this will be dependent to this original view. Okay, that will be dependent to that original view. So this, if you organize or if you change the discipline for that view, okay, so that dependent one will be changed as well. So that is dependent. Now let me go for this duplicate and let's click on this duplicate with detailing. And here you can see that level one copy one is selected. Okay, and this one is opened, level one copy one, and level one also opened here. Now for this level one copy one, I will choose the discipline, I will choose structural. Okay. Now here you can see that this structural flow plans is created and this level one copy one is included within this discipline. So you can organize discipline wise. Okay. So let me just rename it. And here we can rename it as level one. Okay, so that is already included. Okay, so here we can give it like level 1 dash or structure level 1. Okay, so this is level dash 1. So that is structure within this structure, or better you go with the rename, and there you give it like structural level 1. So this way you can sort all the flow plans, and not only the flow plans, all the views you can sort it. You can organize all this. So this is all the architectural views are added over there. All these flow plans. Okay, and here you see this is the structural level. Okay, structural flow plan that is created. And here you need to place all the cameras. Okay, so similarly you can go with the level 2. Go with the level 2 and duplicate this view, duplicate with detailing. All right, and then you can change this as structure this, and here you can see this is included within this structural flow plans. Okay, so this way you include, you can sort them as per the discipline. Okay, and now you need to create the elevation cameras. So I have already demonstrated how you can create elevation cameras. Now we also can organize this browser organized by type or discipline. So click on apply and OK. Now these are included here. First, these will be included as per the type, and then it will be organized as per the discipline. So within this flow plan, you see the architectural structures are there, and within this ceiling plans also, all the discipline wise they will be sorted. So the this way you can organize all this. Okay, now let me show you how you can add your option to this browser organization. So before that, we need to create a project parameter. So that parameter we need to create. Otherwise, Revit will not identify what I need. Revit cannot match my requirement. So for that, I need to create a parameter. Okay, so I'll be adding to the particular elements. Uh, I will assign this parameter. Okay, so these will be the properties. So let's click on add, and suppose I need to sort it by the modeler. Okay, the modeler name. And that will be instance. So here you can see that we have two type of properties, type properties and instance properties. So instance properties are the individual properties. Okay, suppose I'm a person, okay, and I belongs to human category, right? I belongs to human category. So I have some individual properties. Okay, so it's like my pupil color, uh, pupil pupil's colors are brown. So that is my individual properties. Suppose I have a certain height. So that is my individual properties. So no other humans match my exact uh, individual properties like height. Okay, so like running speed, what running speed I have. So these are the instance properties for individual components. And if I go for type properties, so like the human species have two eyes, so that is the type properties. So number of eyes are two, so that is a type property. So that is for all the human categories, right? So these are the difference between type properties and instance properties. And here the name will be by the modeler, and the discipline, it will be common and what type of parameter. So here go with the text parameter so that everyone can type. So that will be text parameter. Okay. And if there is any other parameter to assign like these from this list, so you can define it. So nothing to define. Like you can also go for this multi-line text. Now group parameter under which group it will be assigned. So you can define it. Okay. So like this can be grouped under data. Or you can go for this text option also. Okay, so what is you can go for other also. And these values are aligned per group type, and values can be vary by group instance. So we are making it different. So that's why uh, better we go with the instance. Let's click on OK. Okay, so we need to select the categories. Okay, we need to define the category. So we will make it as per the view. Okay, so this parameter will be assigned for the views. So let's click on OK. And here you see that no values are assigned. Okay, so right now I can give it a default value. So that will be the initial value. So let me give it my name. Click on OK. And that is created. All right. So now here within this other tab, you see the by the modeler is set. Okay. And you can give it, you can make it also a associated parameter, can make it a global parameter also. Okay, so right now I'm not making, so that is not required. Now let's define like, okay, so by the modeler. Now let's go for this browser organization. Okay, and we will be creating a new option for this view. We can also organize our sheets, our schedules. Okay, so here you can see that this drawn by options are there for this sheet. For this schedules, there is nothing. So you can go with new for schedules. So the options will be same. So just I'm going to show you the view options. All right. So now let's go with the new option. Okay, give it a name. All right. Uh, Team members name or member or modular name. Click on OK. And right now we are not filtering. Okay, so let's go for this group and sorting. We'll be grouping. So as per this by the modeler, you see that is listed here. So we'll be grouping this by the modeler and then by the family and type. Okay, so you remember that I have mentioned that all this view element, all the Revit element, model element, annotation element, all those are families. So those will be uh, grouped. Okay, so let's go for this, and this will be sort by name. So you can choose any other option. So that is fine. And in the ascending order, they will be sorted. And if you need to filter it, so you can go for the filter. So right now we are not applying any filter. And now select, let's click on apply. And here you can see that all these are right now under this flow plans. Okay, so which I had defined here. So right now that comes under this name. Okay, so that is the by this modeler, by the modeler. Okay, and like this you can add for this also for other flow plans. You define these properties for these flow plans. Okay, so this is the view specific properties. Okay, so you will find out for all this. Okay, and as because this is the instance properties, we can give it a difference value. We can give difference values. So here we can choose, and those which are unassigned right now, you can see this box is empty right now. So that's why this is under this 3 question mark, means nothing is assigned. Okay, unassigned option. All right. So here you can also see that views by modeler name. This is selected by modeler name. Okay, and you can also create like let's go for this browser and organization. And within this modeler name, let's go for edit and grouping and sorting. So first, what you can do, you can go for the uh, type. Okay, first you go for the type and then go for the discipline. Okay, go for the discipline and then by the modeler. Okay, first they will be grouped by the uh, type, like flow plan, ceiling plan. These are the type of these views, and after that they will be sorted by discipline. Okay, and then by the modeler, so that you can define. Now let's click on OK and let's apply, and here it is. So you can give it a different name. So right now you see that we have this flow plan 3D views, and within this 3D view we have this discipline, coordination discipline, and within that we have the modeler name. So right now no modeler is there. So for this I can give it a name like Dipanshu. Dipanshu has created this 3D view. Okay, sorry, this one, not this, this one. That's for Dipanshu. And here you can see, right? So this way we will be organizing all the views. All right. So for here also define, select all this. So how I selected all these 4 options or the multiple options within a single click. So first I select one option and then go to the last option, and while selecting the last option, hold the shift. Okay. So this way it will select all the other options together. Okay. So holding shift, you choose the last option. And after that, go to this properties, and there you can define. All right. Like Sidesh, click on apply. Okay, so here you can see that within this architecture, this is sorted by this. Okay, so this way you can organize your project browser. That's what we need, because we will be creating lots of other views and sheets and families. So we need to organize. So that is the most important part for creating any project template. So this you with this option you will save it. So let me show you that. Go for this save option and give it a name. All right. So after give it after giving the name, go for this option and how much backup you need. So go to this option, and the default option will be 20 number of backups will be created. So when you will save, you will see that for this name you got .001, 002. So those are the backup files, and this template one will be the original file. So you need to give the minimum one. Okay, so maximum one backup will be created. You cannot stop that. So maximum one backup will be created. So the last saved one will be the backup file, and the recent saved will be the main file. So backup file will be created, and what will be shown, okay, as a thumbnail preview. So you can choose like a source, active view, or sheet, or any particular view you can set. That will be the thumbnail. Okay, so you understand what is the thumbnail preview. So in the recent files list, you see some images for the files that is set as the thumbnail preview. Okay, so there you can choose the 3D view, or here it is the active view or sheet. So active view or sheet, that means the last working view when you save it, the last working view, and when you close it, this one was the active view. So this will be visible in the thumbnail. And with this option, you click on OK, and then you go for the save. I'm not saving it. All right. So this is how we organize our project browser. Now within this ribbon, we have this architecture tab, and within this architecture tab, we get all our model components. Okay. So you see the build options is available. So within this build option, we get all the uh, uh, host element, and some component elements are available here. And here also we get some component elements like railing within this circulation panel. And these are the model panel. Here you can create some model text. So the model text is like a 3D text which you add within your project, okay, which have a depth and length and width. And you can create some model line. So model line will be visible in 3D space also. So that is about the model line. So it's like it's a 2D line, but it will be visible in this 3D view. And we have also a line option within this annotate, that is the detail line. So that detail line is a view specific line. All right, so that is the difference between detail line and model line. Model line is not a view specific. It will be included in all the views, including 3D. But this detail line is a view specific. What I mean by view specific? So if I create this, create anything by the detail line within this level 2 view, so it is the view specific within this level 2. In the other views, it will not be visible. It is specifically in this level 2. It will be visible specifically in this level 2, right? So that is the detail line. And here we have this model line. We have some model group. Okay, so we can group some elements. So for that, we have this model group option. Okay, so you can create some elements and you can group them. Like you remember that in AutoCAD also we got some group options. So it's like that same. So and here we have this create group option. And if you have any group, so you can choose place model group, and you can load uh, into this current project if you have externally saved, so you can load that. So right now nothing is there. Okay, so now you see these are the flow plan instance properties. Okay, and within this you see that this view scale, the display model is normal, detail levels is set to coarse. So within this view bar also you will get these options. This is the view scale option, and this is the detail level. So detail level we have three options. Okay, so the coarse is like only the outline, only the outer geometric shape will be visible, this detail. So no much detail will be added. If you go for medium, so some more details will be added. And if you go for fine, so all the details will be included. Okay, all the details which is available in your model will be visible with this fine. So all the fine minute details will be included if you choose this fine detail level. And this is the visual style option. So you can make your component wireframe, hidden line, shaded, these things. So these things are already aware, you have learned in AutoCAD also. And we have other options like creating the sun path, activating the shadows, hiding, unhiding these options, and some other options are available here, like analytical model. So that is for structural components. Okay, some other options, this crop region. So we'll learn this later. Okay, and these are the options also available within this properties palette. Okay, so here you can change everything. You can change everything, and then you can save all these settings. So you can save all these view specific settings as a template file. So you can save it as a template file. So for that, go to this view, and here you have this view template. Now let me go for this manage view template window, and this is the view template window, and here all these view templates are managed. So already some uh, templates are created. Now let me choose this architectural plan, and this is applicable for all. Okay, for all the view type, you can choose view specific. So that is also available for all. Suppose you need for structural. So for structural, we have this structural foundation plan. All right, so you can choose view specific. These are only available. So let's go with that. And architectural plan is available here. And within this architectural plan, view template, you see that for this view properties, these are the values is set, and that is these are the parameters included in this view template. So this view template will be saved with these parameters. So if you don't want to include it, okay, so that you can uncheck here. So it will not be included. So that out of this view template, you can change the view scale also. So if it is needed, you can go for this to exclude. All right. So now let me exclude this and click on OK. So this is the architectural plan. And now you see that I can change this coarse, medium, this option, the detail level I can change. I can change the visual style to realistic. But if I assign the view template for this floor plan view, okay, view template. So here you see this is within this identity data. You have this view template, and this is set to none. Click here and select this architectural plan, which is right now uh, defined. Okay, click on OK. And now you see that this one was excluded. This view scale was excluded. So I can change this view scale, but other options are grayed out, deactivated. I cannot change it because it is locked within that view template. So if you need to change anything, so for that you need to customize that view template again. So go for this apply template properties. No, not apply template. Go to this manage view template, and choose that architecture plan, and go to this. And here like this if you need to change the uh, shadows and these things you need to change. So from here you can change it. Okay, like this, and here it is changed, you see. Okay, So for all these views, for all the flow plans, now you see that if I go to the other flow plan like level 1, here it is still as course, visual style hidden, and the scale is uh, set. So next, I don't have to change all the properties one by one. I will just specify the view template, and as per the view template, all the view properties will set. Here you can see. So that's what we do. We set the view template. Okay. And this is the way we go for units, and we create our views, and we set the project browser, we organize the project browser, and then we define the view template, and then we start working. So here we have this wall options available, and this door, window, these options are there. So before creating and before placing your model elements, we need to specify datum elements. Okay, that will define the uh, project outline, the relevant height for the project, the stories, number of stories for the project. So for that, we have this datum panel within this architectural tab. We have this datum panel, and we can create grids and levels. And right now you see that this level option is grayed out. This is deactivated. Why? Because level defines the elevation, the height, right? So that level cannot be placed on floor plan. That can be placed in elevation views. So the elevation view is the option. Another is section. In section views and in elevation views, we only can create levels, and LL is the shortcut for creating levels. So I'm going to double click here, and right now I'm into this north view. And here you can see that two default levels are created. Two default levels are created. So you can rename them, and you can create some more elevations. And now you can see that this level option is activated right now. Okay. So now let me show you that you can select this, and this is the grid line, the level line, and this is the level head. This is the level head option, and this is the level text. Okay, so the name and the height. This is for the height, and this is for the uh, level name. And this option is checked to show the grid head to this side. And if it is unchecked, the grid head will not be visible to this side. And you can check this to this side. Okay. All right. So now you see this is the level. These are the levels. So you have to select this way and then check uncheck your level heads, and you can rename it. So how you name your levels? So first give the numeric value like 0 point or 0, then space, or you can give a point and then space, and then give the name like ground floor level and press enter. And it's asking that would you like to rename the corresponding views? Obviously it will be yes, because if you click on this no, then in this project browser, the level 1 floor plan will not be renamed. In this elevation, you will see that this level is renamed, but in this project browser, that will not be renamed. So we need to match it. So click on this yes. and here you will see that this is floor plan 0 ground floor level. Okay, so now it is not as level 2 or level 1. Also for this, now I'll change the height. Okay, for this existing level, I'll change the height. So let's go for 450 mm. And for this, we will give it a name like 0.45 plinth level and press enter. And it's asking for the renaming. So click on yes, and here it is renamed. And now I'll change the view scale. Okay, so that is added. This is the view scale. And in this particular view scale, if you see that this text is overlapping, so now you can select this. And here we have the option to add elbow. And this will be added. One elbow will be added, and you will find out this grip points for this elbow, and you can adjust the elbow. Okay, so that you can do. And now you see that this is locked. These is locked with this. So the orientation is locked here. Now, if you select any of this level, here you see that this I can change with this circle. So this is the option to drag and position. And as because it is locked, so I'm changing the position for the another level. So it's locking that orientation. It's maintaining that perpendicular. Okay. So this way we can position and rename existing levels, and we can create new levels. So for that, LL is the shortcut. And then we have two tools to create new level. You can go with this line option and you can start creating. And here you see that you are getting this snap point. Okay, so from this, and here you see that another temporary dimensions is visible. And as per the mouse movement, you see some increment, and that is set in that manage tab snap option. You remember, there is set. So as per the zoom, you will see the increment. And here you see that increment is right now 1000. And if you zoom in, you see the increment is right now 20. Okay, so as per that, you set the zoom and you position it. So from this, so you're placing with this line tool option. Okay, so what will be the height from the last level? It's showing the temporary dimension is showing from that last level or the nearest level of the upcoming level. Okay, so this way we will define. Let's click on this point, and on this option bar, you see that the make plan view option is checked. Okay, now let's start the point from here. That is started, and where it will be placed. To define that point, and here it is. Okay, and now you can see that the distance is 3450. So that will always be calculated from that 0 level. That is your ground floor level. So the 0 level is your ground floor level, and from that it will count. It will show the height. Okay, so the total height will be shown here, and that is calculated from that 0 level. Right. And here you can see that this level 3 created in this project browser. So that is the option make plan view. That is the option make plan view. Suppose if you uncheck, If you uncheck this, and now let me show you with the pick line option how we can create with the pick line. There you can just provide the offset like 3050, enter, and just place. And here if you place in this bottom direction, from this bottom direction, so that will be placed in the bottom direction. So you don't have to provide minus value. So Revit is intelligent. As per the mouse placement, it will identify the direction. Okay, so now this is created and in this direction. And here you can see that these levels are not created within this project browser. As per these levels, no such plans is created, right? So if it is happened, suppose that was unchecked in this option bar. So how you can add the floor plans in the project browser? So for that, go to this view, and there you have this plan view option. Open this plan view option with the drop down arrow. Click on this floor plan. So you'll be adding this floor plan. Click on this floor plan and you see that this level 4 and level 5 are waiting for you to assign the floor plans, and you will be assigning this floor plan. You can click on this edit type option, and here you can choose what will be the call out tag, the reference label. Okay, so that is mentioned, and you can assign some view templates. From the beginning, you can assign some view templates. Click on OK, apply. Okay, new views are dependent on template. Absolutely, click on OK. And now select these two, and this option is checked. Do not duplicate existing views. So click on OK, and you will see that level 4 and level 5s are added. And as per the uh, architectural template, as per the view template, we have this view settings. Okay, now you need to go to this elevation, and there you need to mention. So let's go with the naming. So here you need to define minus uh, 3050, then foundation level, enter, and click on yes. And this one will be the first floor. So for that, give it just one, and first floor level. I have just copied it and click outside, then click yes, and that is renamed. Okay. And you need to define like go for the -3, -3.05. Okay, define this as -3.05. Click on yes. Mm, now let me rename this. Okay. to second floor. Click on yes, and that is added here. Okay. This will be added. You can add this to the sorry. You can add this to the structural discipline. You can make it structural plan, part of the structural discipline. Just a second. Yeah, so here we have this discipline option. So you can make it the part of the structure. So it will be organized. Okay. See within this. So this is architectural model. Okay. And this is not included in the uh, like within this structural plan we have included. Okay, so that I think I had created earlier. Now let me just organize the all option. Click on apply and okay now. So within this structure it is added. Okay, as because we have mentioned this as per the discipline. So as per the discipline it is created. And it is included in this flow plan also. So now you see that as per the flow, as per the naming, I'm getting all these flow plans in these proper order. So first I'm getting the foundation level and then ground floor, then plinth level, then first floor, then second floor, and then other stories you can create. Okay, so you need to name all your levels like this way. Okay, so first the numeric and then the name. All right. Now you can select and check to this side, uncheck to this side. For this also check to this side and uncheck to this side. Uncheck to this side. And we need to position it and it will be locked. Okay, so if you changed all the position of the level head will be changed. So this is how we create our levels and then come to the ground floor. We need to create uh, the north one is not visible here. I think somehow I deleted it, or here I have this option, so nothing is there. Okay, so right click. Let me delete it. And now let me add it to this side. And now let me rename it to north. Okay, now we can create grids. So GR is the shortcut for creating grids. And within this architecture tab also, you will find out this grid option to create some grid. Okay, so after that, we will start creating grids for our project layout. So that part I will cover in the next class. So that is all for today. I hope you have understood. Let me know if you have any doubt. Let's discuss.